Natalie Sansonetti from New Leaf Nutrition and the Gut Loving Life. So, February is upon us, and am I wrong in assuming that you're still suffering from acid reflux despite your resolutions in January to do something about it? Has this lockdown stopped your good intentions in their track and you've gone back to the boozing, smoking, or sugar eating, which are all major contributors to acid reflux? So, I wanted to give you a few reasons why this is not a condition you want to ignore, why you're getting it in the first place, which is going to surprise you, and what to do about it right now. So I'm going to share my screen with you right now and talk about acid reflux, aka heartburn, indigestion, and GERD. So, are you alone in suffering from acid reflux? No, it affects up to 25%. That's a quarter of the UK population, which tells me also that if you know anyone with that condition, you might want to pass on this post and this video to them. GERD is the most common digestive disorder in the US. GERD is basically acid reflux that keeps repeating over in every week. It affects at least 20% of the population on a weekly basis. And it's common in both men and women, 25 to 74 years old. So it affects pretty much everyone. Symptoms of acid reflux is burning in the throat and the chest. You might even lose your voice. Food and acid or acid coming up the esophagus. Cough and inflammation in the throat. Asthma symptoms and difficulty swallowing. Long-term consequences, and this is why you need to not ignore this condition. You will most probably get sleep deprivation, and that will lead to chronic fatigue. Burning in the chest will increase over time. You will get ulcers, bleeding, inflammation of the esophagus, esophagitis, which is a condition very common to acid reflux sufferers. You might get respiratory problems, including chronic asthma, difficulty swallowing due to esophagitis, nutrient depletion, which will lead to nutrient depletion, rapid weight loss, anemia, and immunity weakened because you're not actually absorbing the nutrients you should be absorbing. Barrett's esophagus, which is when the lining of your esophagus becomes more like the stomach lining, which is not what it should be. And that can lead also to esophageal cancer, which is a far more serious condition, obviously, to chronic acid reflux, but not to be ignored. So, some causes of acid reflux, and the very first point I want to make is that it is not caused by too much acid. In fact, it's caused in more than 90% of the population by low gastric acid, plus lower esophageal sphincter dysfunction, or LES or LOS, to make it short. These two combined, the low gastric acid and the LES, will mean that your digestion is slow. Why? Because you don't have gastric acid, enough of it, to basically break down the food that you're swallowing, and the food will sit in your stomach and ferment and cause a lot of gas and a lot of an overgrowth of bacteria. And that will cause a lot of pressure to push the food and the acid up your esophagus, which will then cause the acid reflux. So the little acid you've got in there is basically going to be pushed up the esophagus, giving you a feeling of acidity, but it's only the little bits of acids that are being pushed up together with food and gases and other particles from your stomach. So the IAP, which is the pressure that the gas and bacterial overgrowth are causing, is also caused by obesity, overeating, lying or bending down, trigger foods, smoking, alcohol, etc. So all of this, especially the fact that the gastric acid, low gastric acid, is making your digestion very slow and making that pressure push against the lower esophageal sphincter, which is the valve at the bottom of your esophagus. that's going to be weaker and weaker. You might even get a hiatus hernia there, and that's going to stop the food from being stopped at the bottom of the LES, and it's going to start going up the esophagus, which is not something that's very pleasant, as you know. So causes of low acid is age, which you can't really do anything about, but also long-term use of acid-lowering medications like omeprazole and PPIs and antacids and Gaviscon and all these medications, because they stop the production of acid. So the little acid you've got is actually lowered by all of these medications you're taking, which is why taking them in the long run is not a good idea. And in fact, they were never meant for long-term use. Stress is also a major cause of low acid gastric acid. When you are under fight, flight, or freeze response, your digestive system is switched off because you need that energy to fight or flight a threat and a danger. Infections such as H. pylori, for example, are one example of infection that can cause acid reflux. And then you've got all the trigger foods, which are high carbohydrates, foods, sugary foods, coffees, teas. You've got also timing of food and drinks. You know, are you drinking during a meal? Is that pushing that pressure up against your esophagus again? Is that putting too much pressure because you're having too much volume inside your stomach with the added drink? Or your eating habits. It's how you eat, which is important here. Are you chewing? Are you slowing down? How long does it take you, and how well do you eat your food? These are all causes of low gastric acid. Low causes of LES can be overeating, obesity. Eating too much will put pressure upwards and push against the valve at the base of your esophagus. Some medications, including some supplements, can cause LES, alcohol, smoking, high carbs, sugary food, and other trigger foods. So obviously a lot of the reasons and causes of LES and low gastric acid are actually food related. And this is where I'm here to help. I'm actually launching on the 15th of February a Stop Acid Reflux group program, which is easy to implement because it has a week by week, step by step system over 8 weeks. And it offers support and accountability on food. It gives you recipes, elimination and reintroductions of food, guidance, supplements, new lifestyle habits, to explain to you and to train you and to establish good habits in how you eat, in relaxation, helping you to breathe better, to switch off that stress response as well. Sleep and exercise and other related issues are also addressed, and you know, I will help you on all of these issues, so that in the end you will enjoy normal food again, which is the aim of this group program. It will stop the pain, burning, and discomfort for good. You will be able to exercise, sleep, and feel yourself again. You will be able to live your life the way you want and take control of that life. So if you want some help right now, or if you want to find out more about this program, I will put the link to the explanation on my the description on my website in the top comment of this post. But you can also get one-to-one support by booking a free 30-minute consultation with me to chat about your issues, your health goals, and I will guide you to see how you can best achieve them. And this is the link. You can get that consultation booked. It will take you directly to my diary and you can book a slot. So meanwhile, thank you for watching this. And if you know anyone who suffers from acid reflux and needs a little bit of clarity on the causes and consequences of acid reflux and what to do about it, please feel free to share this little video, this post, and hopefully I will hear from you soon. Take care.